The following is a production of WCMP Sports. It's time for a basketball matchup here on WCMP Cool Country. Tip-off will begin shortly. We'll head to the court now for the pregame.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's broadcast of high school girls basketball here on 100.9 FM WCMP. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. I'll bring you all the action from tonight's matchup between the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars and the Swanville Bulldogs. Again, you're listening to this game on 100.9 FM WCMP. I, of course, am Ethan Game Day Gilman. I'm bringing you all the action from tonight's matchup here at Hinckley-Finlayson High School. These two teams used to be in the same section when Hinckley-Finlayson was a single-A school, but now they're a double-A school, and you know what? They're doing pretty darn well at being a double-A school. They're succeeding pretty well. You know, I think a lot of people were worried about them moving up to 2A, but I think they're doing just fine as a 2A school. They've done a really good job, especially in football. You know, football is probably one of the tougher things that they've had to transition into the sports world. And they've done a really good job. I mean, they face teams like Moose Lake River, Mesabi East, so it is certainly not easy, but they have done a good job in football, basketball, baseball, softball, whatever it is. Excuse me, they have done a really good job of moving from single A to double A, and they'll face their former section rival in the Swanville Bulldogs. And this should be a good one here tonight between these two teams as we take a look at the Swanville Bulldogs here this evening. They are, again, in Section 5A East, where Bram controls everything in that section right now. They're 8-1 in the section is Bram, but Swanville, they're 6-6 in the section, 10-9 on the season. They score about 51 points per game and give up about 45 points per game. As we take a look at the Swanville schedule, again, one game over 500 on the year. They opened it up kind of win-loss, win-loss. And then they went on 2 wins against East Central and Ashby, lost one, then won another 2, lost one, postponed. And then it's been kind of win-loss, win-loss. They did have a 2-game losing streak a couple of weeks ago in the last week of January, but they've done pretty well so far. It's been win-loss, win-loss kind of all year long for Swanville. But they played some very good teams such as Paynesville, Little Falls, Uppsala, Barnum, Bertha Hewitt for Pete's sake, Topeka, Browerville Eagle Valley. There we go. Osaka. So it's not like they're playing teams that are just walkovers. These are teams who are very, very good, including Piers is on their schedule as well. So it's not been an easy schedule here for Swanville, and they still do have a winning record of 10-9, but they are 2-5 in their conference, which is the Prairie Conference, with Osakis, Uppsala, Browerville, Eagle Valley, St. John's Prep, Long Prairie, Great Eagle, and on top right now is Osakis at 6-1 in the conference, Uppsala 5-2, Browerville, Eagle Valley 5-3. So looks like nobody's going to catch Osakis right now. The closest would be Uppsala, but that'll be tough as they are probably 2 games back in that one. So the Swanville Bulldogs, I don't know why I always want to call them the Eagles. Maybe because they're the same color as the East Central Eagles. I think that might be why, but the Swanville Bulldogs come in here today. I went out to Swanville a couple of years ago where Hinckley-Finlayson, the girls team was in the playoffs as the 3 seed, 4 seed, something like that. They went to Ogilvie, upset Ogilvie as the number 1 seed. So then Hinckley-Finlayson, I think a couple days later, went over to Swanville. I want to say they played Swanville, but I don't think that's right, so don't quote me on that. But they played in that game, and that was, oh my goodness, it was so cool to see this Hinckley-Finlayson girls basketball team be able to get that far and 1 game away from state, and just unfortunately could not push themselves to state. But it was quite the fun season, and again, I am looking at them right now. Again, a team that is 12-11 on the year, and they're in Section 2 or Class 2A, and they have, man, I think they've done such a good job, and it's been such a fun year, and to watch this team transition to Class 2A is tough. It's not an easy thing to do, but they are able to do it, and they've done a pretty darn good job as well. So I'm trying to find that game that they played, and I think, I don't think it was Barnum. I don't know who it was. Was it BBE? It might have been BBE. So it might have been BBE who I'm thinking of. Maybe not. I don't know. Either way, moving on. They did go out there a couple of seasons ago and play a very good game. But now as we look at it for Hinckley-Finlayson tonight, you already heard me say it. They're 12-11 on the season. They're only 2-1 in their section, so not a lot of section games here for Hinckley-Finlayson. And they're still 12-11 though. Still about one game over that 500 mark. They do only score average about 45 points per game, give up 51 points per game. But as we take a look at their schedule, they have given up some hefty numbers in some games, and that's why it's their points given up is more than their points scored. They started out this season on a tough road. It was a very tough start to the season, 2-7 to begin the season, and that was through Christmas break. They were 2-7, and two of those losses came against section schools. That was Moose Lake Willow River and Mesabi East. They beat Moose Lake Willow River, but they did lose to Mesabi East, which is a section school. But then after that 2-7 start, they went on to win 4 straight. And if you go back and say a 1-6-7 start, they won 5 straight. Back to Duluth-Denfeld on December 28th. Then they beat Mille Lacs, Aiken, East Central, Hill City, Northland before losing to Pine City, Ogilvie, and Bram again. But then went on another nice win streak of 4 again, where they beat Moore, McGregor, Rush City, and East Central. Then they lost to Uppsala, but now they're again on another 2-game win streak, where they beat Duluth-Denfeld last Thursday and Mille Lacs just last Friday. So it has been one ride for these Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars, and again, some of these games, unfortunately, they did give up a lot of points. But that, again, was early in the year. Like Pine City, they gave up over 75 points twice. Ogilvie, they gave up over 65. So that's why the points are a little bit skewed. But when they're winning, man, their defense is coming to play. And it looks like, as we look at the last, let's see, 7 games, they've really done a good job of kind of finding their rhythm on offense and getting that offense to kind of flow and finally getting those points to really start to fall. I mean, as we look at it, their last 2 games, their wins, they scored 63 and 65 points. So it looks like they're starting to get their offense rolling. Now, though that 4-game win streak before that loss to Uppsala, they didn't score in the 60s, but they're holding teams down. They won against Mora 54-50. They beat McGregor 50-39. Rush City 58-52. East Central 42-22. So you can see that 50-point mark for them is kind of that sweet spot on defense. If they can hold teams under that 55-point mark, there's a good chance that they're going to win. And that's kind of how it's been all season. And their defense is so very good. Unfortunately, just those couple games where they gave up a few more points than they would have liked to Pine City and Ogilvie are really what makes that kind of skewed one way, kind of a little heavier than they would like to see on their stat sheet. But I think for Hinckley-Finlayson tonight, this is going to be a great matchup. I think that it's going to be a fun one. That's for darn sure. But I also think that they can come out of here with a victory over Swanville. Swanville has been to the playoffs before and made some deep pushes at times, and I wouldn't be surprised if they try to make one here, but they'll have to get through this Hinckley-Finlayson team first here tonight, and then they'll have to get into playoffs, and that's where it all kind of jumbles together. But we're just about set to start here. We're going to get our national anthem and our starting lineups, and then we'll be set for tip-off here at Hinckley-Finlayson High School and this girls basketball game between the Jaguars and the Bulldogs. We'll be right back. We'll hear a word from our fine sponsors. You're listening to Girls Basketball on 100.9 FM WCMP.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Your tomorrow is important to Pine Insurance Agency and Grinnell Mutual. That's why you can trust us to provide you with personalized service and a full range of insurance coverages you can count on. We'll be there when you need us so you can trust in tomorrow. For all your insurance needs, contact Pine Insurance Agency, your local Grinnell Mutual agent at pineagency.us today. Trust in Tomorrow is a registered trademark of Grinnell Mutual Reinsurance Company.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get there. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Back here on 100.9 FM WCMP. Your starting lineups will look like this. For the Swanville Bulldogs, who are head coached by Aaron Gopinski, it'll be number 3, Avery Douglas. Number 4, Lauren Miller. Number 15, Amelia Hudala. Number 24, Sam Sobiek. And then number 30, Reese Jackson. I try to write that down because it is spelled different than it sounds, so I'm trying to give myself a note as to how to pronounce that one, because I know if I just glance at it, I'm going to pronounce it way wrong. And then on the other side for the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars, it'll be who are head coached by Robert Witter, I should say. And then now it is senior night for them. They do have 2 seniors starting. We'll get to those in just a moment. But to start with, it'll be number 2, Anna Degerstrom. Number 3, Hannah Hartle. Number 5, Reese Hartle. And then your seniors, Gracie Olson, who wears number 24, and Karina Tevet, who wears that number 25 there for Karina Tevet. It'll be Anna Degerstrom and Amelia Hudala at the line, or at center court, rather, for tip-off. And the Eagles win the tip-off here. And this one, and we are underway in this girls' basketball game. The Bulldogs have it. Now they're going to go inside to Hudala, and a long 3 there is off the mark. It hits nothing by Reese Jackson, and the Jaguars will just watch it go out of bounds, and they will get it back. Jaguars are wearing their home red unis with their white letters and numbers. This one's going to go out of bounds. That's touched by Swanville. Swanville wearing their white away with their blue letters and numbers. Jaguars are going right to left on your radio dial. Swanville left to right. A pass inside from Reese Hartle to Anna Degerstrom for 2 to make it 2-0 early on here in this game for Hinckley-Finlayson. Up the court with it now are the Bulldogs. Jackson has it on the near side to Avery Douglas. She bounces it inside to Hudala. Now all the way across court to Miller. Miller for 3. That rattles out, and getting the rebound is Gracie Olson. She'll hand it off, and quickly up the court go the Jaguars. Hannah Hartle with it. She passes it into the corner. Now inside to Anna Degerstrom. It's no good. And the rebound that time goes to Avery Douglas. Nice shot opportunity there for the Jags. Just a little bit off. And now they'll work it up the court. Reese Jackson on the far side looked for 3. Instead, she'll give it off to Avery Douglas on the near side for 3. Oh, wow, good. Avery Douglas will put the Bulldogs on the board with a 3. And early on, you can see that the Bulldogs want to get that 3 going, plus a full court press. This one nearly gets stolen away, and it's still up for grabs. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Gracie Olson somehow kept it away from being stolen, but I think they got her for a travel, which if that's the case, that's an interesting call because that was dual possession in my opinion. I thought that as soon as she got it, she gave it off, but not the case down there. That was tough to see through, so I don't 100% know what happened. And now on the opposite side, Avery Douglas, she'll go inside to Sobiek. And this one is stolen away by Reese Hartle. She'll get the steal and bring it up the court now for the Jaguars. Top of the key. She looks. She wanted to go to Hannah Hartle, her sister. Instead, she'll go to Karina Tevet on that far side elbow. Tevet tries to drive inside. She picks up her dribble, gives it off now to Olson. Olson on the near side, or far side, now gives it off to Anna Degerstrom on that far side corner. Degerstrom calls out a play, goes inside to Reese Hartle, for 2. It's now 4-3. Jaguars with the lead. This one's stolen away, poked and stolen away by Reese Hartle. She puts it up and in for 2. Reese Hartle, she read that one like a book, just stepped in front of the passing lane and stole it, and I couldn't even get the camera turned in time. That was so quick. Now inside here for Hudala. It's no good, and we're going to get a whistle. Did they get a timeout or a foul? A foul here on Swanville will be their team's first, and the first on Sobiek. Her first, team's first, and an ill-advised pass goes right to Avery Douglas for the steal, and then she's fouled, and now she'll go to the line to shoot 2. Wow. This one's going to be on the Jaguars, number 2, Anna Degerstrom. And Douglas is at the line to shoot 2 now. First one is up and no good, so Hinckley-Finlayson gets a foul to bring it the other way, and the foul right back on the Jaguars, and now Avery Douglas, who missed her first, will get that one to rattle through. She'll hit 1 of 2 there. And now the Jaguars have it back, who lead 6-4. At the top of the key, it's Degerstrom. The student section there wanted her to shoot that, but she pulls it down, gives it off to Reese Hartle. Reese Hartle will drive inside, put it up towards the net. Oh, it almost rattled home. Oh, and got away with the travel, did Hudala. She got away with one there, but she'll give it off to Douglas, and Avery Douglas will walk it up the court now for the Bulldogs. She'll give it off here. Is that our first? No, that is Jackson. Jackson now to Miller on the near side. 3 for Douglas. Douglas is good from 3, and she's showing you're going to have to pay close attention to her on the perimeter here this evening. And that one's going to be stolen away. Reese Hartle tried to get it over the head of Avery Douglas, but Douglas just waiting for it. And that I think Reese got a little too close to Avery that time before she tried to pass it away. And that's what led to it, and a foul is going to go against Reese Hartle, so her first, team's second. Bulldogs will inbound. It's Jackson who gives it off to Sobiek, and a 3 from Jackson is no good. Pulling it down is Anna Degerstrom for the rebound, and she'll take it, give it off to Hannah Hartle. Now to Reese. Reese will bring it up the court for the Jaguars. She's going to give it off near side to Tevet. Tevet looks right in the baseline. There is Hannah Hartle, and she works for 3 on the far side. No good. Avery Douglas is going to be a problem as she gets a rebound, and she has already been a problem from 3. This ball trying to go inside, stolen away by Karina Tevet. She stepped right in front of that one and stole it away, and Reese Hartle will get it back. She'll let the offense get in front of her. kind of settle things down so they don't get too in front of themselves here. And she'll try to work it inside. Now give it off to Hannah Hartle, who puts up a turnaround three. It's no good. Rebound that time. And a drive inside by Gracie Olson. It's no good. And then we get a foul on the shot there from Anna Degerstrom. She'll go to the line to shoot two, and it'll be the team's second foul for Swanville. And that one's going to go against Lauren Miller, her first. 13:45 to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Jaguars trail 7-6. Embrace Orthodontics with 3 locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. Degerstrom's first one is up and good. It's now tied at 7. And checking into the game for the first time here tonight is number 20 for the Bulldogs. That's going to be Delaney Chuba. Degerstrom nails them both and gives her team a 1-point lead. 13:45 to go, 8-7. Hinckley-Finlayson with the lead. They do get it up into the front court to Hudala, trying to go inside, but it is stolen away there by Gracie Olson. And now trying to go to Hannah Hartle. That was, I thought that was off of Hudala out of bounds. They do not agree. I think the Swanville just got a gift. Hannah Hartle got the pass inside from her sister Reese, and then she couldn't control it, but Hudala got her foot on it as it went out of bounds, and I thought her foot was the last to touch it, but they didn't agree with me. I think Swanville was gifted one there. This pass goes out of bounds, knocked out of bounds by Hinckley-Finlayson. Inside quickly to Hudala. It's no good. Getting the rebound that time is Anna Degerstrom, and she's just going to, they're going to call a jump ball. And I think Degerstrom would have been better off there throwing it off of one of the defenders out of bounds, but she still gets the jump ball in her favor. It looks like she may have bent her nail backwards. I don't know. I think she's trying to, not to get gross on it, but I think there's blood on her finger. She's trying to get it off without wiping it on her clothes. She's trying to lick it. It's just, didn't want to go gross on it, but there was no other way to put it. Brecken Hansen checks into the game, and that shot is up and no good. Rebounded that time by Lauren Miller for the Bulldogs. This one nearly stolen away, but grabbing it back is Miller. Miller goes underneath the defenders and puts it up and in for two on the reverse layup. That was a nice move there by her to get to the basket and then to get the shot up and in. Now quickly up the court. That's one of the Hartles. It's Hannah Hartle, no good on the shot. It's Lauren Miller again with the rebound, and here come the Bulldogs. They're going to go inside, and the shot is up and good from Chuba for two. So an 11-8 lead now for Swanville, and Reese, gives it off now to Tvet. Tvet gets around the defender. Nice move. And I think they say it went off of her out of bounds. Oh, no. Couple substitutions here. Lily Peterson checks in for Swanville. Also a couple substitutions for Hinckley-Finlayson. Checking in for the first time here tonight is number 11, Hazen Taggart. Rebound here by Reese Hartle off the missed shot, and then we get a whistle, and I think they're going to... Is this going to be on Hinckley-Finlayson? It is. They call it on Brecken Hansen. Her first, team's third. So they will inbound it to Douglas, and she'll give it off now to Chuba. Chuba to Hudala on the far side now for Miller. Miller tries to drive inside, back out to Chuba. Now to Hudala, now to Douglas. Douglas for three. That's no good, or rare miss. That's going to go out of bounds. That's touched by the Bulldogs, so Jaguars will get it back. 11:51 to go. They trail by 3 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, Dr. Sievers is committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. Go ahead and start today at embracemn.com. Reese Hartle will try and bring it up the court, but she'll instead lob it up down the court and up and in for two from Brecken Hansen. And the assist that time to number 20, Natalie Staffney, to make it 11-10. This Jaguar defense starting to double up these outside shooters now, and we get an inside shot that time for 2, and it's good. Make it 13-10 now. So the ball will go back to Swanville on a turnover. Avery Douglas lobs it up there to Chuba. Chuba now back inside from Jackson, and then Jackson on the far side for 2. A long 2 from Jackson. And a shot that time from Staffney, no good. She gets her own rebound, up off the backboard and in for 2. Nice job getting her own rebound. And it's 15-12. A 3-point deficit now for Hinckley-Finlayson. Miller gives it back out to Douglas. Douglas guarded closely by Taggart. Douglas will try to go on the far side, and now she'll give it off that time to Jackson. That shot is no good. Rebounded here by Hannah Hartle. Hartle with the rebound, and now up the court goes Reese Hartle to the far side of the court. She's trying to get around the defender. Miller gives it off far side. Well, it'd be near side, but Hannah Hartle with the rebound, or shot no good. Nearly rebounded by Reese Hartle, but it's going to be Miller who grabs the rebound. May have gotten away with a little bit of a travel that time. Now they'll go on the far side here. Now Chuba to Jackson, back to Chuba, now to Jackson again, inside to Miller. That shot is up and no good. It's Reese Hartle with the rebound this time. Back the other way go the Jaguars. Taggart wanted to go inside. She'll give it back out to Reese Hartle. Reese on that far side elbow. She'll give it off now to Hansen. Brecken Hansen drives inside, gives it outside to Reese Hartle for 3. It's no good. And getting the rebound that time was Chuba. Quickly up the court go the Bulldogs, and Avery Douglas, she's going to draw the foul. And that's tough, because that type of foul is so tough, because you know that the player with the ball is going to lean into you to draw the foul. And they have if you want to call it the right-of-way to the basket, as Douglas makes the first one. They kind of have the right-of-way to the basket, but I don't know, I've always disliked that call. Checking in for the first time tonight here for the Jaguars is Sydney Krieger. Douglas makes them both, and she continues to be a thorn in the side of the Jaguars here tonight. Even when she's not scoring, she's getting it done defensively. Olsen tried to go inside, back outside now to Olsen from Anna Degerstrom, and Olsen takes it to the basket. It's no good. Rebounded that time by Jackson. Here comes Swanville, and they'll slow things down just a little bit. She'll give it off to Douglas, near side. Wide open 3, and a rare miss there from her, but Reese Hartle waiting patiently to bring that one down, and now she'll take it up on the far side. She drifts towards the middle. She'll put up a little floater. That shot is no good, but she draws the foul, and she'll go to line and shoot 2. That one is going to go against Lily Peterson of Swanville, her first team's 3rd. And Reese Hartle at the line to shoot 2. First one is, no good. That one looked on the mark, just a little bit off, though. 9:07 to go here, creeping up on that halfway mark in this first half. Second one from Reese Hartle is up and good. So we're going to get a timeout here on the floor. This one's going to be called by Hinckley-Finlayson. They will get the timeout, and that'll be their first, and they'll be left with 4. That'll give us a chance to look at that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard, where we see the Swanville Bulldogs, who lead 17-13 with 9:07 to go. Embrace Orthodontics, helping you find a smile you'll embrace forever. Find out more at embracemn.com. Jaguars got out to the early lead here in this first half, but Swanville has gotten some turnovers and started to build on that lead. (17 to 13) is the score. Just a little slow, I promise. I'm updating it. Don't worry. So the Jaguars back out on the court. Swanville will follow. And the Bulldogs will now have it in their front court with Avery Douglas. Nice pass inside, and can't do much about that one. Lily Peterson puts it up and in for two. Douglas provides the assist there on that one, and again, not much you can do if you're Hinckley-Finlayson. Reese Hartle got into a defender. Luckily, she gets it off to her teammate Krieger. Now back to Hartle. Hartle tries to get around the defender. Wanted a screen, I think, from Anna Degerstrom, but did not get it. Now she'll give it off to Gracie Olson. Olson back to Hartle. Hartle will take it to the basket. It's off the front of the rim. No good. And getting the rebound that time is Staffney. Staffney, that one's going to be stolen away here. And up the court, Avery Douglas, and it's good. Getting the steal was Reese Jackson for Swanville, and a quick turnaround, and up and in for two for Avery Douglas. Good passing here from the Bulldogs has led to a lot of these open lanes, and it's caused by turnovers on the other side. Staffney had some trouble with it. She gives off to Enter. Degerstrom looked good from three. Oh, and then we're going to get a foul to boot. My goodness. So the rebound for Lauren Miller, but then a foul on Hinckley-Finlayson. That one's going to go against Gracie Olson, her first and the team's fifth. So right now, one thing that's kind of hurting the Jaguars is the turnovers, and a nice pass inside to Hudala. Oh. She leaned into that one a little too much for my liking. So she's going to draw the foul, but Hudala will make the first. Again, it's one of the calls that I dislike so much. They lean into the defender, and more times than not, they get the call. Depending on the reffing crew, sometimes they let them play a little bit more physical, as Hudala will make them both. So again, it depends on the refs. Sometimes they let them play physical. Sometimes they call a little bit tighter game, and obviously all the players have to deal with it. But I've never liked the call of you lean into a player a little bit and it's a foul. Shot is up, and a little bit of a too quick shot in my opinion. That time for the Jaguars as it's rebounded by Sobiek. Hudala will get it, and she'll give it off far side to Avery Douglas. Douglas fakes a shot, drives inside. She'll give it off now to Jackson. Jackson to Hudala. Almost got away from her, but she brings it in. She'll now go inside to Sobiek. Sobiek back outside here to Chuba. Chuba, she lost it. She did. Reese Hartle with the steal. Gives it up to Gracie Olson, and it's swatted. So Hartle another steal, give her 4. It was swatted, but the Jaguars will hold on to it. It's Gracie Olson who will check out. In for her is Hannah Hartle. And for the Jaguars, I think they need to work the perimeter a little bit here in this first half a little bit more, just because inside they've not been able to get anything inside. Staffney now with it on the near side. She'll give it off on the far side here to Krieger. And now the far side corner for Hannah Hartle. And it's a 3. There you go. They listened. They knew exactly what I wanted them to know. That was just great adjustment there by their head coach, Robert Witter. And Hannah Hartle just delivered. Hannah Hartle got the poke on Avery Douglas. Nearly stole it away again. Oh, Douglas definitely wrapped her arm around Hannah Hartle there. Probably could have been a foul, but they'll let it go. And that one swatted away, stolen away by Reese Hartle. That's a 5th steal for Reese Hartle here. She'll give it off now. Near side 3. Hannah Hartle. It's good again. Tried to draw the foul. And sometimes, again, when you get bumped a little bit, not that they're acting, but sometimes that bump is enough to where you kind of don't want to land sideways. And is this? Oh, they're going to get a foul here on Avery Douglas. Another. Oh. Yeah, okay. I thought they were going to call that on Reese, but Reese Hartle with another steal. Then she was fouled. That one's going to go on Avery Douglas, her first and the team's 4th. So Hinckley-Finlayson has found a little bit of something to work with now. And Hannah Hartle has delivered on her last 2 shots from outside the perimeter. Oh, nice move by Reese Hartle, inside, and then the shot is up, no good. Reese Jackson with the rebound. Quickly up the court come the Bulldogs, and a whistle. And a quick whistle at that. And that one's going to go against Reese Hartle, her second, team 7th. It's a 1-1 now as Hazen Taggart will check into the game for Reese Hartle. I didn't see it. Shot is up and good. Reese Jackson makes the first. And the second one is through as well from Reese Jackson. Make it 25-19. It's Hannah Hartle who will take it up the court. She gives it off now to Sydney Krieger. Krieger on the near side gives it to Hannah Hartle. It's knocked out of bounds. It should stay with Hinckley-Finlayson. It was knocked out by Swanville, and it will. Sydney Krieger will get set to inbound for the Jaguars. She'll give it into Taggart. Hazen Taggart will circle the perimeter. She'll give it off now to Anna Degerstrom. Degerstrom looking, trying to go somewhere with it. She'll drive inside, give it to Taggart. Far side to Hannah Hartle. She wanted 3, tries to get around the defender, picks up her dribble, gives it to Taggart. Taggart wanted to go inside. Instead, she'll give it off now to Krieger for 3. It's no good. And right now, poked out about. That was close. Reese Jackson had it poked out from behind by Hannah Hartle. And I think some of these fans saw what I saw, that it may have been out. So it was too close to call. So I like that they're sticking with the call here, but it could have easily been. It would have been whoever they called it out on. It would have stayed. It would have been a good call. So this one's going to go just in front of the intended target. That was Lauren Miller. It goes in front of her, and it will go back to Hinckley-Finlayson now. They trail 25-19 with 5 minutes to go in half number 1. It's Anna Degerstrom with it. She didn't like what she saw, so she'll give it off here to Brecken Hansen. Hansen gives it off far side to Sydney Krieger. Krieger goes inside to Anna Degerstrom. Degerstrom, with the spin around. And, how in the world? A rebound by Hansen. It got to Degerstrom, and then, I don't know, it looked like there was a lot of contact on that one. Either way, now Jackson with it. She'll give it off now to Miller. Miller fakes the shot. It's around the defense, and if you're Hinckley-Finlayson, you can't have that. And you can't have Miller get her own rebound, too. Went through 2 hands of Jaguars, and now Douglas has it on the far side. Could have easily been a charge on Douglas, and they didn't get it called. And going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow favors Swanville. I mean, Douglas put her shoulder into a Jaguar, and I mean, that was, he might as well have had football pads on. Holy moly. 25-19 is the score. Now 4:15 to go. Taggart gets in front of the pass, but getting it down is Douglas. Travel on Douglas. I thought they were going to get a whistle for a foul here on Hinckley-Finlayson. Not the case. They're going to call Douglas for the travel. Inbound goes to Hannah Hartle. Hannah will give it off to Sydney Krieger. They wanted Krieger to sprint up the baseline, and now they'll give it to Taggart. Taggart has I thought she had a shot, but instead she'll give it underneath to Degerstrom. It was poked out from Degerstrom out of bounds, so it will stay with Hinckley-Finlayson as the Bulldogs were the last to poke it out. Jaguars inbound here to Hartle, and it's a long 3. It was on the mark, but she was fouled, and she's going to get to go to the line to shoot 3. That one looked good, and if she wasn't fouled, that one may have dropped through. But now she's at the line to shoot 3. That one's on Jackson, her first, team's 5th. So Hartle will shoot 3 of these. The first one is good. Second one just off the mark. This one, no good as well. So only one there for Hannah Hartle. And getting the rebound that time was Lily Peterson. Jackson gives it off now to Miller. Miller, don't know if that's a 3 or 2. Is it a long 2? No, it's a 3 for Miller. Make it 28-20. And it's like just as soon as Hinckley-Finlayson gets something rolling, all of a sudden Swanville gets something back. And a shot that time for 3 from Hannah Hartle. Who else? Hannah Hartle drops it through to make it 28-23. Jaguars still with a deficit here with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Driving inside is Jackson. She throws one at the net. It's no good. Anna Degerstrom with the rebound. She'll bounce pass now to Krieger. Krieger will take it up on the near side. She'll give it off to Hannah Hartle. Might as well keep giving it to the hot hand. Anna Degerstrom tries to drive inside. She wanted to go back to Hartle. She will. Hannah Hartle loses her dribble. She'll put up a shot. It's no good. And it's going to go out of bounds and go back to Swanville. Hannah Hartle had it, and then she was going to try and drive inside, but realized that she had picked up her dribble, so she would have traveled, so she threw a shot up towards the net. And why not? I mean, she's been good from 3 all night, so take a chance, and maybe it'll fall. I like that idea. Very aware, though, of her steps, and I think that's a great job by her. Jackson with it on the far side now for Swanville. Pass to Miller. She gets around the defense, puts up a shot. It's in for 2, and that's Miller's done. They haven't been able to corral her. When she gets it and she works underneath the basket, coming in from the far side, for some reason, Hinckley-Finlayson, I think that what they're doing is they don't want to foul her, so they kind of let her go, and they're not letting her go. There's something to it, as a long 3 is no good that time from Krieger. It's rebounded by Avery Douglas. But she is just working her way through the defense underneath. And that's going to be a charge that time on Avery Douglas. Great job by Hannah Hartle to be in the way and take that charge. Avery Douglas with her 2nd foul and the team's 6th. 7-point deficit here for Hinckley-Finlayson with 2 minutes to go now in the first half. A pretty quick-paced first half as we're going to get a foul now on Swanville, and that'll send Reese Hartle to the line for a 1-and-1. And we'll see who this one goes on, as it is Swanville's 7th team foul, but the first for Amelia Hudala. Only one with 2 for Swanville is Avery Douglas. Reese Hartle makes the first one to make it 30-24. Now the deficit is 6, make it 5. Reese Hartle makes them both. 30-25 now with under 2 minutes to go. Little zone full court. I don't know if that's a thing. Seems like it. And stepping in front of it again, Reese Hartle. She had it for a moment. They're going to tie it up. It's going to go back to Hinckley-Finlayson as the possession arrow favors their team. Reese Hartle has had, let's count them. 6 steals in this first half, and that she did almost got another one. She tied it up, but close enough. My goodness, she has just been all over the passing lanes tonight in Swanville's offense, and if I'm Swanville, I want to pass it away from wherever Reese Hartle is at. Anna Degerstrom tries a hook shot inside as she spun around. That one's up no good. We got a couple players who fall to the floor, but getting the rebound is Natalie Staffney, and then it's stolen away. Avery Douglas. Her 2nd steal. And that, I don't know if she lost it. Tried to give it inside there to Miller. Either way, it's out of bounds off of the Bulldogs, and it will go back to Hinckley-Finlayson. Checking in is Gracie Olson. She comes in for Anna Degerstrom. 1:12 to go in the first half. Your Jaguars trail by 5. Inbound here to Gracie Olson. She gives it quickly to Hannah Hartle. Hannah Hartle on that far side. She'll give, and I think what she was looking for was either Reese or Krieger, and they weren't there, so an ill-advised pass into some traffic, and it will go out of bounds. Last touch by Hinckley-Finlayson. So a little bit of rush there by Hannah Hartle. That's one of the mistakes that her coach will tell her, hey, you just got to settle down on that one. It's okay. It's okay to pick up the ball and then just wait for a teammate to come open. She wanted to, because she was so worried about traveling that she gave it off a little too quick. Miller will have it now for Swanville on the near side. They try to get it inside to Hudala. Hudala gets it back out to Douglas. Douglas fakes the 3. She'll drive inside, put it up. No good off the front of the rim. And it is, picked up on the rebound there by Krieger. She'll give it off to Gracie Olson. Quickly up the court. Now to Krieger. Krieger on the near side with 32 seconds to go. Krieger goes, inside to Staffney. That one nearly could have been stolen away, but Staffney does a good job of being there. Shot up towards the basket. No good. Rebound here by Lily Peterson. And it looks like Swanville may get the chance at the last shot here. Quickly up the court now to that's Jackson. Jackson on the far side, inside to Peterson. Shot is up and good. And if Hinckley-Finlayson hurries, they'll get the last shot here. 32-25. They trail, and here come the Jags. Up the court. Give it out. Oh, they're going to get a travel. They had Sydney Krieger wide open on the near side for three. I think Hannah Hartle traveled there. Sydney Krieger was wide open near side for three. Oh, and a foul. Foul, that came before the buzzer, and we're going to get two for Hannah Hartle before the buzzer. Hannah Hartle got the steal, plus she was fouled, and now she'll go to the line to shoot two as that came before the buzzer, and that's going to be Douglas' third foul. So they will send the players to each bench as after her free throws, it's halftime. First one is up, and good. 32-26. You talk about opportunity at free points. This was huge from Hannah Hartle. Good. Hannah Hartle. Those were clutch threes right there from her. And now we will head to halftime. And Hinckley-Finlayson gets the last 2 points on the board here before half with free throws with no time left. Hannah Hartle did a great job there on Avery Douglas to work after that ball. She got the turnover and got fouled and went to the line and converted both free throws to close the gap down to 5 now for Hinckley-Finlayson. We are at halftime. As I mentioned, Jaguars do trail, but only by 5, thanks to the hard work of Hannah Hartle getting that last steal and foul there, and plus 2 free throws. So that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard, your customized smile journey, starts with a free consultation. The team at Embrace Orthodontics wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom braces or Invisalign. Find out more at embracemn.com. So the Jaguars down at halftime by 5, but it almost is an exciting 5 for them. It almost feels like they're leading this game with how they ended the half. It really does. There really is a lot of momentum in the Jaguars' favor right now going into halftime. But we'll talk more about that here at halftime as we take our commercial break and hear word from some of our fine sponsors. You're listening to Girls Basketball right here on 100.9 FM WCMP.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Your tomorrow is important to Pine Insurance Agency and Grinnell Mutual. That's why you can trust us to provide you with personalized service and a full range of insurance coverages you can count on. We'll be there when you need us so you can trust in tomorrow. For all your insurance needs, contact Pine Insurance Agency, your local Grinnell Mutual agent at pineagency.us today. Trust in Tomorrow is a registered trademark of Grinnell Mutual Reinsurance Company.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/getThere. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, You can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
100.9 FM, WCMP. Ethan Game Day Gilman here calling all the action from tonight's matchup in this girls' basketball game between the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars and the Swanville Bulldogs. The Bulldogs up at halftime 32-27, but if you joined us before half, you may have seen that Hinckley-Finlayson, it feels like they're in the lead here at halftime because of the momentum swing that they had. They grabbed a ton of turnovers, 9 steals in that first half, and hogging them all was Reese Hartle. She had 6 steals herself in that first half, and that doesn't account for her knocking balls out of bounds with her hand or even forcing a jump ball opportunity. So she has done a great job of just being in the Swanville passing lanes, knowing where they're going with the ball. She's very intelligent with that. And Hannah Hartle, I mean, she hit 3 threes in that first half, and she also hit the last 2 free throws there to make it only a 5-point deficit for Hinckley-Finlayson. She did a good job there. It was, 2.6 seconds left. They called a travel on Hinckley-Finlayson. Inbound to Avery Douglas, and Hannah Hartle got the turnover plus the foul. She went to the line with no time on the clock, so she got basically 2 free throws. I mean, free. There were no defenders, nobody else around her. She was able to sit there and just take her breath as long as she wanted. Boom. I mean, obviously there's still the 10-second you have to do it before, but it was smooth and easy, and she converted them, and that is why they're only down by 5 here on senior night. As we look at the stat leaders here for Swanville, who leads 32-27, leading the way was Avery Douglas with 11, 7 for Lauren Miller, 4 for Amelia Hudala and Reese Jackson, along with Lily Peterson, and then 2 for Delaney Chuba. They had 3 steals there in that first half, 18 fouls, 17 fouls for Hinckley-Finlayson, and they were led by Hannah Hartle with 12 points, 7 for Reese Hartle, 4 for Anna Dagerstrom, and 2 for Brecken Hansen and Natalie Staffney. Of course, their 2 seniors, Gracie Olson and Karina Tevet. It is senior night, and this is their last home game. I didn't realize that coming into tonight, but yeah, this is their last home game. And in fact, looking at their schedule, it's the last week of games for them this week, which is very interesting because their playoffs, as we look at Section 7AA, don't start till February 2nd, or March. It's already February. March 2nd. So their last game, according to MinnesotaScores.net, their last game is this Friday in Walker Hackensack Akeley against them. So very interesting. Their last home game, and they'll play 2 more games this week, Thursday, Friday, at Rush City, at Walker Hackensack Akeley. And that is all it shows for them, as we'll take a look at their Great River Conference schedule. Maybe MinnesotaScores.net isn't up to date yet, but they do a great job of staying up to date. But we'll take a look at their conference schedule and see if that's really right. That just seems weird that they'll have 2.5 weeks off before playoffs. And, yeah, that is their last game this Friday. So if you haven't tuned into a game this year, if you haven't been to one or you haven't made it out to one, make sure you tell everybody, hey, tune into this one. This is their last home game of the season. It's senior night. This is their last week of play. Think about that. I mean, their playoffs do not start till March 2nd, and this is their last week of play. That is crazy to me. That feels weird. But for Hinckley-Finlayson, they're going to have those 2 weeks to have nothing but heal up, get better, rest, and watch their opponents coming out. Because now with these 2 weeks that they'll have off, they'll get to go to these schools that they could potentially be playing. As they're in Section 7AA, they're in the 10th spot right now. So in the 10th spot that they're at, they would have to go on the road to the high seed on March 2nd. I don't think they'll move out of the 10th spot. I just don't see that happening. So again, they're in the 10th spot, and as we take a look, they would have to travel to Mesabi East on March 2nd. So, and again, that is, 2 weeks away from their last game. So they would get the opportunity to sit here for 2 weeks, practice, but then after practice, have the ability to, I'm not sure if they can do that due to rules, but if it's allowed, you could take a school bus or, coach bus, a bus, and take these athletes and go watch these games of potential matchups. Now, there's a chance that they could fall to 11 or 12. I just don't see that happening, but there is a chance that they could. But I think they're firmly in control in that 10 spot. They might move up to 9, so there's a chance they could play Rockridge, Mesabi East, Piers, Esco. If I'm them, I'm going and telling them, hey, these next 2 weeks, let's go watch Piers. Let's go try and get one game and see them live. Let's go watch one game against Mesabi East, one game against Rockridge, one game against Esco. Hey, maybe we can kill 2 birds with one stone and see, them play each other, which would benefit them in a huge way. It looks like they may not get that opportunity, though. But for Hinckley-Finlayson, this is a great opportunity as I'm looking at the teams that they could potentially play and their schedules. Looking at Mesabi East, who, by the way, is 14-7 on the year. They do play Rockridge at the end of the season, so they could, but their seasons don't end until February 24th as I'm taking a look at it. So their seasons continue on next week, which is just super interesting to me. And again, they could play Rockridge and Mesabi East, Piers, Esco, even possibly. So there's a lot of teams that they could potentially play. But with this week and a half, 2 weeks off that they will get, this is an opportunity for them to go and look at these teams live. There's a huge difference between watching them on tape and watching them live. It is so different, and I'm sure that this head coach, Robert Witter, will have them try and get out to these games to watch those teams live and say, hey, go scout your opponent. You're going to have to go on the road anyways, so go scout your opponent, see who you're going to play, and let's get ahead of the curve here in the playoffs. Again, their playoffs start March 2nd on the road, more than likely. Now, it's not that they can't move up, but it's going to be tough. So they're pretty firmly locked in that 10th seed as we get underway here in the second half. 18 minutes back up on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. We'll start with the 3 from Lauren Miller for the Bulldogs. That'll make it 35-27, and quickly up the court go the Jaguars, and now we'll get a jump ball. Possession will stay with the Jags. Embrace Orthodontics, they will do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. If you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. They'll find a plan to fit your budget. Jaguars going left to right on your radio dial here in the second half. Bulldogs right to left. It's inside to Gracie Olson, and she'll give it off to Anna. Dagerstrom. I didn't see it, but she apparently agrees with the call. She's not upset about it. She just kind of clapped her hands and went, yep, that's my bad. So a turnover here. As that was good, a nice reverse layup there from Anna Dagerstrom was through, but turnover. And it'll give it back to Swanville. And nearly stolen away by Gracie Olson. She got her hand in the passing lane. And that, again, something that Hinckley-Finlayson did so well in the first half was get their hands in the passing lane. Again, Reese Hartle gets the stats because of the steals, but each and every one of those players on the court did a good job of getting in the passing lane. Now, it might not have been effective each and every time, but they did a good job, and that's going to create doubt in the mind of Swanville next time they go up to pass. Oh, is it on the floor, or is the basket good? I think the basket is good. Well, that's a huge foul on Hinckley-Finlayson. As now Jackson has a chance for the three-point play. This is the second foul on Dagerstrom, first in the second half. And Miller. Miller has a chance now. For the three-point play, she only gets 2. Rebounded there by Brecken Hansen. But it is 37-27 now in favor of the Bulldogs. And this is not the first 10-point deficit the Jaguars have faced. That's gone off a foot. Yeah, that went off of Miller's foot. I was going to say, that the ball doesn't roll like that unless it goes off a foot. But they notice it. They do a good job. Done a great job all game. This lob inbound to Anna Dagerstrom, and she'll off the mark a little bit, and it's rebounded by Miller. Miller in some trouble. She'll give it off to Douglas. Douglas on that far side. She'll drive inside, fakes a shot. Now in trouble. Stolen away by Brecken Hansen. For her first, and she'll give it back to Anna Dagerstrom. She was in some trouble in a double team. Nice job to give it to Dagerstrom. Now to Reese Hartle. Reese Hartle finds a lane. It closes quickly. She drives inside, gives it to Anna Dagerstrom. Dagerstrom gets through some hands, puts it up and in for 2. Anna Dagerstrom with the first points of the second half here for Hinckley-Finlayson, 37-29. Pass inside now for Hudala. Her shot is up, no good. Knocked out of her hands by, that was Hansen who knocked it out, and it will stay with the Bulldogs, but nice job there by Hansen to knock that rebound out of the hands of Hudala. Inbound to Hudala. That shot is up a little too hard off the glass. No good, and rebounded there by Sobiek. And she gets fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2. That's going to go on Gracie Olson, her second, team second. They had 7 in the first half. First one is up and good. (38-29). That one's no good, so Sobiek will only make 1 of 2. And remains a 9-point deficit. Reese Hartle gives it off to Gracie Olson. Olson left alone on this near side. Tries to go inside to Brecken Hansen, but just out of her reach, and it will go out of bounds. Back to Swanville, and again, turnovers. A little bit of a problem here. They were a problem in that first half. Kind of showing its ugly head again here in the beginning of the second half, and that's part of the reason why they lost their lead and why Swanville was able to get out to a lead. Was the turnovers. This shot is no good and swatted around, but the rebound will finally fall in the hands of Reese Hartle. Reese will take it up the court, and she'll let the defense go by. She'll give it off far side to Gracie Olson. Olson back to Reese. Reese Hartle on top of the key. She wants that lane inside. She'll give it to Hannah Hartle. Now trying to go inside, but stolen away, by Jackson. She'll take it to the basket, and she does not get that one to fall. That's Hansen with the rebound for Hinckley-Finlayson. Hannah Hartle gives it to Reese. Reese, top of the key, gives it far side to Gracie Olson. Olson wanted to go inside to Degerstrom. She'll go this time on the pass there to Hansen, and back to Olson, who puts it up and in for 2 plus the and 1. And a Degerstrom, nice job there to get that shot to fall, plus the and 1, and that foul is going to go against Hudala, her second, team's first of the second half. And now Degerstrom with the chance for the 3-point play. No good, and Degerstrom will only get 2, but that's an important 2 points, 38-31. Avery Douglas will get it off now to Miller on the far side. Miller trying to get around Reese Hartle, and she will get it up and in for 2. Will Miller. 40-31. Bulldogs with the lead. This pass to Hannah Hartle gets over some traffic. A long 3, just off the side of the rim, and Miller will get the rebound there for Swanville. I like that shot selection from Hannah Hartle, just a little bit off the mark. So now Jackson has it. That's definitely a. And Hudala, she stepped in to Reese that time, and that's a foul. That's an illegal screen, unfortunately. Yeah, you can't step into it. You have to stay basically still when you're doing a screen. You can't step into a player, especially when they're going the opposite way of your screen that you've set already. You have to stay put, and that shot up no good from Reese Hartle, and she was fouled, so she'll go to the line and shoot 2. We'll see who this one's on. That one is going to go on Delaney Chuba. Her first, team's third here in the second half. So Reese at the line to shoot 2. First one's up, rattles out. No good on the first. No good on the second, and that's a tough one. And it's going to roll out of bounds, and it will go to Swanville. Jackson will inbound it here to Douglas. Douglas will take it up the court on the near side, and now she works at the top of the key. She'll hand it off to Jackson. Jackson will go near side, and she'll give it off now to Chuba. Chuba, top of the key, gives it inside to Miller. Miller tries to spin around, and that one got lost, but Hudala picks it up and puts it up and in for 2. 42-31. Anna Degerstrom has it. She'll get it off. She'll get it inside to Olsen. That pass is knocked away, but it's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Swanville. So we'll stay with Hinckley-Finlayson, who trails 42-31, 13:37 to go here on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard with a timeout called by Hinckley-Finlayson. Custom Braces or Invisalign with 3 locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. EmbraceMN.com. This will be the second timeout called here by Hinckley-Finlayson. They'll be left with 13:27 to go. They trail by 11. The turnovers have been a little bit of a problem here in the second half. Not as much as the first half, but the inside play of Swanville and their passing lanes inside have started to open up a little bit. And Hinckley-Finlayson right now is just not able to close those lanes quick enough, and they're allowing the Swanville ball handlers to get around them. And it's not that they're, I don't think Swanville's faster than Hinckley-Finlayson. I just think they're getting a better angle on their cuts inside on Hinckley-Finlayson, and they're allowing Swanville to get around them. And that they're doing a good job of making Swanville go around, but they're still getting around Hinckley-Finlayson, which Jaguars do not want. This ball is batted away by Douglas, and it's taken by Miller. Miller up the court, and she'll get it off now. To Chuba, to Hadala. She was fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2. It's going to go against Gracie Olson, her third. Team's third. And Hadala at the line to shoot 2. No good on the first. Couple substitutions here for Hinckley-Finlayson. It's Olsen and Hansen, Brecken Hansen, who check out, and in for them is Staffney and Taggart. Hadala will make 1 of 2 that time to make it 43-31. A little bit of a full court press here put on by Swanville, but Anna Degerstrom says, fine, I'll just take it myself. And now she's guarded. Tried to go inside to Staffney, a bit of an ill-advised throw. So I don't know how that got to Reese Hartle, but it did. And her shot is up and no good, rebounded here by Miller. Oh, Miller took 1 extra step that time. That was travel. They just didn't catch it in time. And now going inside, beautiful passing. Avery Douglas will go to Hadala. And, nearly stolen away by Reese Hartle. The jump ball called. Possession arrow favors Swanville. They'll get set to inbound. They do on the far side to Miller. Miller circles the perimeter. She'll spin back in, give it off far side here to Avery Douglas, and she'll set up for 3. She was good on those, and yep, she's good on that. Can't leave her wide open. She will nail those. A 15-point deficit now for Hinckley-Finlayson. Nice pass from Reese Hartle to Anna Degerstrom, going inside to Staffney, who puts it up just a little too much on it, but a late foul call on Swanville, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2. So Staffney will go to the line to shoot 2 now, and that one's going to go against Miller, her second, team's 4th, and Staffney at the line to shoot 2. Goes off the front of the rim and no good. 12:35 to go in the second half. Swan up, no good as well. Miller will get the rebound for Swanville. A timeout called here by Swanville. With 12:29 to go here in the second half. Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard shows the Bulldogs up over your Jaguars 46-31. Embrace Orthodontics, Dr. Sievers. He is committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. Start today at EmbraceMN.com. So a tough start to the second half here for Hinckley-Finlayson after a great finish to the first half. They've only scored 4 points in this second half up to this point. They've allowed 14. And it's not that they're doing so much wrong. It's just that right now they're not closing the lanes to drive in for Swanville. And Swanville's doing a good job of just kind of getting around the edge on Hinckley-Finlayson. Hinckley-Finlayson just not able to kind of set that edge and keep them from walking it inside. They just need to cut that off a little bit better, I think. But then again, Swanville's doing a very good job passing the ball as well. So you cover one thing and they hit you with another, and Robert Witter will do a great job of getting something figured out for his Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars, and they'll come out and execute that. And we've seen the turnaround in the first half. As that first half went along, all of a sudden Hinckley-Finlayson slowly but surely started to grab momentum, and they played a little bit more aggressive. They started to grab some steals and not as many fouls, even with being aggressive, and they got things to go their way. As now Avery Douglas has it, gives it off to Miller, and Miller's shot is no good, but Hadala right there for the rebound. Her shot is no good. Rebounded here by Reese Hartle. Hartle quickly up the court, literally races up the court. It's no good on her shot. Avery Douglas with the rebound. Avery Douglas, wow. I don't know how she got that one. She was underneath the basket with her arm behind it, and she still got it to roll in. That's a pretty darn good shot. Taggart has it. She'll give it out to Anna Degerstrom at the top of the key. Degerstrom looks. She wanted to go back to Taggart. Now she'll drive inside herself. She stops. She's double teamed. That nearly got stolen away. Jump ball called. Possession arrow favors the Jaguars. The Jaguars will hold on to it. Degerstrom checks out. In for her is Krieger. Reese Hartle will inbound, trying to get it inbounded. It goes off of a defender, and they'll get to do it again. Smart job there by Reese Hartle. She'll reset that 5-second clock and look to do it again. She does, and that shot up and no good by Tvet. Rebounded by Avery Douglas. She'll take it up the court. She's now double teamed, but they leave Miller open. Can't leave her open, and now they'll get it off to Chuba. Now inside here. Miller, shot up good, plus the end one. And now it's 50-31. I was a point behind. Well, 2, I guess. And now Miller will get set for a possible three-point play. Gets it, wow. Gets it to roll home. It's just been the friendly rolls here tonight for Swanville. They've been able to get those rolls. Hinckley-Finlayson hasn't. It's now a 51-31 lead for the Bulldogs over your Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars with 11:25 to go here in the second half. A little bit of a full-court press here by Swanville. They get it up to Taggart. Taggart now to Reese Hartle. Reese Hartle on the near side elbow. Fakes inside. Now gets it to Tvet. Tvet wanted to go inside. She'll go back to Reese Hartle. Hartle does a good job to keep that ball away from harm. And Taggart can't pull it down. And that pass just a little too high for Taggart from Reese Hartle. See Hartle a little bit disappointed in that one, but got to keep her head up. You guys have come back from deficits like before, so just keep your head up and continue to plug away at this, and they'll find their way back. Going inside for Peterson, that's no good. Miller tried to get the rebound. I think it went out of bounds off of Miller. So it should be, no, it's not. It is Swanville ball. Interesting. Again, it's too much of a cluster down there. I can't really see through it, so I can't see whose hand got on it last. And again, we'll stick with what the referees say. They do a good job. Shot up from Peterson, no good. She gets her own rebound. She's fouled. She'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul there on Natalie Staffney. Her second, team's 5th. And again, it's Peterson at the line to shoot 2. Shot is up and no good. Peterson no good on the second one, but the rebound by Sobiek. Peterson, she'll give it off near side to Miller for 3, and that is good. Miller for 3 will make it 54-31. As Reese Hartle Showing off the ball handling skills. She'll give it off to Taggart on the far side. Back to Reese Hartle, top of the key. Reese Hartle fakes one way. Now she'll drift to the far side. Gives it off to Taggart. Taggart to Tvett. Tvett, maybe if she saw that lane a little bit sooner, she could have had a chance to drive inside. Taggart drives inside. Her shot is up and no good, but she was fouled, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2. Nice job there by Taggart being aggressive. She saw the lane to the basket open, and she was not going to take that. Well, not going to take that lane. And it closed quickly, but she drew the foul. And that foul is on Lily Peterson, her second, team's 5th for Swanville here in the second half. Yes, and Taggart's first one is up and good, and a scoring drought has ended here for Hinckley-Finlayson, as Staffney will check out, as will Tvett. In for them are Degerstrom and Hansen. So Taggart ends that scoring drought there and gets them back on the board. The second one is up and no good. Rebounded by Swanville, and they'll take it the other way. Going across the court is Jackson here to Douglas for 3. That's a rare miss by Douglas on 3. Oh, a jump ball, but the possession arrow favors the Jaguars. There have been a lot of those here tonight, the jump balls. They're going to switch it. It's possession for Swanville. I was kind of wondering that, but they're just going to stick with what they said. Inbound here to Miller. Miller top of the key. She'll give it off on the near side here to Jackson for 3. It's a little high lobbing shot, but it's good. Reese Jackson for 3 for Swanville to make it 57-32. Travel. Call on Reese Hartle. So a turnover by Hinckley-Finlayson. Will give it back to Swanville. 9:39 to go here, second half. Inbound quickly to Peterson. That's a. So Lily Peterson went up, came down without the ball leaving her hand. Usually that's a travel. But since the Jaguar defender had her hand on it when she went up and she came down with her hand on the ball when Lily Peterson did, it's called a jump ball, and the possession will favor Hinckley-Finlayson, so they'll get the ball back. So, I mean, it's as good as a turnover, I guess. Dagerstrom will take it up the court here for Hinckley-Finlayson. She works on the near side, trying to drive it inside, and it's stolen away by Jackson. She'll give it off now, and it falls through for Chuba for 2. And a timeout called here by Hinckley-Finlayson. With 9:19 to go here in the second half, they trail 59-32 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, helping you find a smile you will embrace forever. Go ahead and go to their website to find out more. That is embracemn.com. I want to thank all of our fine sponsors who sponsor this broadcast. Of course, thank them for sponsoring every broadcast that we do. Thanks to all of you who tuned in here tonight. Appreciate it. Of course, if you don't tune in, we have no reason to really come out here and do these games. So thanks so much for tuning in. And also thanks to all of our fine sponsors. Again, without them, we couldn't come out here and bring these to you. So make sure to say thanks to our fine sponsors for sponsoring this one. If you're ever in their place of business, just give them a thank you. Just say, hey, I heard the game on WCMP or KBEK, and I just want to say thanks for sponsoring that broadcast. It means a lot for them to hear it from us, but I'm sure it means more coming from you, the listeners. Hinckley-Finlayson finds himself in a 27-point hole right now. As I need to update my scoreboard. There we go. 59-32. The second half has not been the half that they were hoping for, especially the way they closed out the first half. They've only scored 5 points here in this second half. Reese Hartle will quickly take it up the court for Hinckley-Finlayson. Now to Hannah Hartle. She's trying to get her team going from 3. It's good. Hannah Hartle has been money from 3 tonight. She gets the one to fall there. And if you just keep letting her shoot threes, I mean, what? You're down by now 24? What do you need? I'm bad at math. What, 8? 8 to tie the game, 9 to take the lead? It's doable. All you need is 9 threes. 9 threes or a bunch of 2s. 12 2s? No, that's not 12. Yeah, it is. Avery Douglas with it for Swanville. She'll give it off now to Jackson. Top of the key for 3. That's no good. Oh, Hannah Hartle. I think they're going to get her for a foul, and she does not agree with the call. I didn't see it in time. I was watching the ball, so I didn't see it. She does not agree. She's just kind of talking with the referee. She wasn't doing anything rude. She was just kind of saying, really? That's a foul? Okay. Shot is up, and I mean, you can't script it. Everything is just falling for Swanville. It doesn't matter how the shot looks, how bad it looks. They're just getting the kind rolls. They're getting the friendly rolls. That shot is no good. As again, it was a 3-point shot, and the foul will give Jackson 3 to shoot. So it makes it 60-35 now with 8:32 to go. This one again, good. She hits 2 of 3 there to make it 61-35. Reese Hartle will bring it up the court for the Jaguars. She'll give it off now to Krieger. Krieger on that far side gives it to Degerstrom. Degerstrom tries to give it to Hansen, and that was knocked out of her hands. Will it stay with Hinckley-Finlayson? Looks like it might. No. Swanville, yeah, really. And Coach Robert Witter was kind of asking, was that really off of us? That's kind of what I thought. I thought that was off of Swanville. Either way, back up the court for the Bulldogs. Avery Douglas left wide open. Can't leave her that wide open from 3 especially. She drills it. And now it's a 29-point deficit here for your Jaguars. Reese Hartle will give it off to Anna Degerstrom on the far side. Degerstrom looking to drive inside. Found a little bit of a lane. Spins around. Gives it off to Hansen. Hansen off the backboard. No good. Rebound up for grabs. It's Hudala who will bring it down. She'll get it off to Jackson. Hudala, a quick 2. And oh my, I don't understand it. They are literally getting every type of roll. They can't even ask for it to be that good. This pass is, I mean, that's just a good steal there by Lauren Miller. She stepped out of oblivion to take that ball away. And now she'll look for 3 on the far side. A rare miss. Will be rebounded by Anna Degerstrom. 66-35 with 7:05 and counting here in the second half rather. And your Jaguars trail now by 31. So that's 11 threes for the lead. That's all they need. Keep giving it to Hannah Hartle. She's been hot from 3. Anna Degerstrom, not enough on that one. And it's out of bounds on Swanville, so Hinckley-Finlayson will hold on to it. 6:53 to go. Anna Degerstrom will get a rest here, and Gracie Olson checks in for her. Reese Hartle will inbound. She wanted to go to Hansen. Instead, she'll go top the key to Degerstrom. That was a smart move. Hansen was open for a split second, but unfortunately just too dangerous of a pass to try and force it in there. Degerstrom tried to drive inside, and she wants to get it off to Hannah Hartle. She does. Hannah Hartle gives it now to Hansen, Brecken Hansen. Trying to drive, gives it off on the far side to Gracie Olson. Olson lost it. She'll get it back, lost it again. She's in some trouble. 30, and timeout called here by Robert Witter. Yeah, Olson was in some trouble there on that far side, and I don't think she thought about throwing it off to the defender, but that would have been a smart move for her to do just because of the trouble she was in. She was in a double team and no way out of it, really. I mean, there was no chance for her to really get out of that double team. So head coach Robert Witter calls a heads-up timeout, and Jaguars trail by 31. Again, all he needs 11 threes to take the lead. I mean, we've seen crazy things happen. 6:28 to go. On that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard, Embrace Orthodontics. Your customized smile journey starts with a free consultation because the team at Embrace Orthodontics wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom braces or Invisalign. Find out more at embracemn.com. That's EMBRACEMN.com. Inbound here to Degerstrom was swatted out by Miller. It will stay with the Jaguars. So she'll switch towards the bench area to inbound, and she'll go to Gracie Olson. Olson looks around. She's got no one, so she'll start to dribble. She'll now go inside to Hansen. Hansen nearly lost it. She'll get it back now to Reese Hartle. Hannah Hartle, she just wants the ball in her hands. She is so antsy to get the ball in her hands. And in those moments, you've got to imagine that she just feels like she is red hot from three. And I think at that point, you don't want to force it. Oh, a little bit of a iffy whistle that time on a foul, but it is a foul nonetheless on Hinckley-Finlayson. It's going to go against Brecken Hansen, her third, team's seventh. Lily Peterson is good on that one. 67-35. 6:05 to go here in the game. She's good on both. 68-35. Give off now to Gracie Olson on the near side. She looks I think she wanted to go to Reese Hartle, but Reese was covered well. She'll now give it to Hansen. She wants to go back to Reese. She wants to go to Hannah, and now gives it off to Anna Degerstrom. Anna Degerstrom tries to back her way inside. She puts it up and in for two. Anna Degerstrom will put that one in for two to make it 68-37. Still need just 11 threes. Avery Douglas will give it off now to Jackson, and now to Peterson, and now to Hudala, and that's a rare miss. And that rebound rolls off a head onto Gracie Olson's hands, and she'll give it off to Reese Hartle. Reese Hartle will wait for the defense, all of them, to get in front of her. Now she'll take it up to the front court. She's on the near side, gives it off to Gracie Olson. Hannah Hartle, she gets the ball. She's going to drive inside, put up a little bit of a floater. That was a good look. It's no good, though. Oh, and I mean, Hudala got away with an absolute shove there. That should have been a foul. I mean, she darn near stiff-armed her. Did Hudala. Hudala basically, threw an elbow into Hannah Hartle as she got the rebound and started to go the other direction. They missed one there. And I don't know if she did it maliciously. I don't want to speak and make her out to be something that she's not. Again, I don't know if she did it maliciously, but it looked bad, and it definitely should have been a foul call. But either way, back with it are the Jaguars in their front court after a missed three-point shot by Swanville. And now Hinckley-Finlayson and Gracie Olson in trouble. She'll give it back to Anna Degerstrom. Anna Degerstrom goes inside to Hansen. Hansen puts it up and gets the roll off the front of the rim in for two. Brecken Hansen will now make it 68-39. And Avery Douglas gets it. She gets around one defender, gets around two, puts it up, no good. Hudala right there for the rebound, put back for two. 70-39 is the score. Reese Hartle lost it as Avery Douglas got the poke, and Brecken Hansen with a nice screen there. Avery Douglas didn't like it, but that was a clean one, and Hansen, beautiful screen by Brecken Hansen. And then fouled was Reese Hartle going to the basket, so she'll get to go to the line and shoot two. That foul is on Sam Sobiek. First one's up and good from Reese. Make it 70-40. Hudala will check out, and in for her is number 31, Addison Hudala. Hudala for Hudala. Making them both is Reese Hartle to make it 70-41. But quickly goes Swanville up the court. It's Avery Douglas. Spins around, trying to get around Reese Hartle. Goes inside to Addison Hudala. She'll give it off on the far side to Jackson. Now to Miller. Miller drifts back to the top of the key. Gives it off to Avery Douglas. Far side. And no good. Rebound by Addison Hudala. Will put it up and in for two. Make it 72-41. Inside, nice job. Pass to Brecken Hansen from Reese Hartle, but no good on the shot. It was a beautiful pass. Now stolen away by Gracie Olson. Gracie Olson with the steal, and then the shot is up, no good. Rebounded by Hadala once again. And then I think we get a timeout called there before Hinckley-Finlayson can tie it up, make it a jump ball. So, not East Central. Swanville will call the timeout there. It'll be their second of the game. They'll be left with 3. With 3:15 to go here on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard, the Jaguars down 72-41. It's been a bit of a letdown here in the second half after playing a really good first half. The way this game was played in the first half, this is not the game that it is for the Jaguars. It is not a 30-point loss for the Jaguars. When you look at that first half, that's the kind of team that Hinckley-Finlayson is. Not can be, not should be, is. That's the kind of team they are. That's how good they are. Not is, not could be. That's how good they are. But just a little bit of a letdown here in the second half, and a big reason why is I think they couldn't figure out how to close the lanes inside and the turnovers. Again, the turnovers became a problem in this second half, much like they were early on in the first. Miller will have it up the court. She'll give it off now to, that's Chuba. Chuba now to Jackson. Jackson will hand it off to Miller. Miller will go around the perimeter and give it off to Chuba. Chuba will give it off to Jackson. Jackson inside to Peterson. Now to Jackson. Jackson on the far side. We'll hand it off to Miller at the top of the key with under 3 minutes to go. Miller double teamed and oh. Man, I think that was just a tad too quick on that one. So, but Reese Hartle will get her third foul. Just a tad. Not a whole lot. Just a tad. But again, it's been a really evenly called game, too. I've enjoyed watching the refs here tonight. They've done a really good job of calling out super even game for both teams. It's been great to watch. Meanwhile, it is Miller at the line to shoot a 1-and-1. It is no good, and with Stickum on her hands, she doesn't actually, but Karina Tevet brings it down. I mean, it was right into her hands, and it was going nowhere. Her hands were like vice grips there. Tevet gets the pass. She'll drive inside, put a little floater up, and it's in for 2. Karina Tevet scores here on senior night. Nice job, too. She got the rebound on the other end, pulled it down with vice grip-like strength, and gets it, and a nice move inside to put it up and in for 2. It's 72-43 with under 2:20 to go now. Jackson will give it off now to Miller for Swanville. Miller takes the top of the key. She looks far side, and now she'll go back to the near side and foul here by Taggart. And it will send Miller to the line for a 1-and-1, and Taggart, that'll be her second. Must be her second of the second half. That is their team 9th foul. We did get a new member of the Bulldogs in. It's Lee Peterson, and the shot is up from Miller. Good. It gets 73-43. 2:07 to go. Miller's shot is up and good again. She makes them both. 74-43. Looks like we'll get basically the JV out there. We got mostly everybody the same except for 13 and I think it's 10. Check in. So 10 is Abigail Morris and 13 is Harley Schultz. Shot is up, no good. Rebounded there by Staffney. Shot is up, no good by Taggart, and she'll grab her own rebound. Taggart on the near side gives it off to Gracie Olson. Now on the far side for Sydney Krieger. Back to Taggart, top of the key. Taggart back to Krieger. Krieger will look. She'll go inside to Staffney. Staffney gives it off to Tevet, who has it blocked, but Staffney right there being a good teammate, and she'll put it up and in for 2. 74-45. 45. And bringing it off the court now are the Bulldogs. With it that time is Abigail Morris. And that ball is on the floor. We're going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow favors Swanville. So I try to catch up with all the substitutions. 22, that's Sahara Molnar. And under a minute to go, Swanville might just try and dribble the rest of this out. They'll try and go inside. Jump ball. Possession arrow favors Hinckley-Finlayson. (74-45). Get a couple of substitutions here for Hinckley-Finlayson. It'll be 10 and 21, I believe. 10, 21, and 22. So, number 10, that's Marianne Watron. Haley Grieger, and Isabella Bennett into the game. A shot there and good from Haley Geiger. There it is, Geiger. Haley Geiger for two. That might be it as Swanville tries to go inside. It's stolen away by Gracie Olson. And quickly up the court they go. That pass just out in front of the intended player, Marianne Watron. And there is the final buzzer. And the Jaguars fall here 47-74 against the Swanville Bulldogs. We'll take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll recap this game, let you know what's coming up for Hinckley-Finlayson, as well as WCMP's broadcast. You're listening to girls basketball here on WCMP.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Your tomorrow is important to Pine Insurance Agency and Grinnell Mutual. That's why you can trust us to provide you with personalized service and a full range of insurance coverages you can count on. We'll be there when you need us so you can trust in tomorrow. For all your insurance needs, contact Pine Insurance Agency, your local Grinnell Mutual agent at pineagency.us today. Trust in Tomorrow is a registered trademark of Grinnell Mutual Reinsurance Company.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get there. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Back here on 100.9 FM WCMP, the final here in this one, the Jaguars fall to the Swanville Bulldogs, 74-47. Leading the way on the other side for Swanville, it was a crazy one. They had three with double digits. Lauren Miller led them with 22 points and 9 rebounds. 19 for Avery Douglas. She also had 5 rebounds, and 11 points for Amelia Hudala, who also had 5 rebounds. 9 points for Reese Jackson, who had 3 rebounds and 3 steals. 6 points for Lily Peterson, 4 for Delaney Chuba, and 2 for Addison Hudala, and then 1 for Sam Sobiek. They also had 6 steals in the game, 3 in the first half, 3 in the second half. 14 total fouls, team fouls. They had 8 in the first, 6 in the second. For your Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars, leading the way for them was Hannah Hartle with 15 points, 10 for Anna Degerstrom. She had 6 of those in the second half. 9 for Reese Hartle, 4 for Brecken Hansen and Natalie Staffney, 2 for Karina Tevet and Haley Geiger, and then 1 for Hayason Taggart on the free throw. A couple of them had 4 rebounds. Degerstrom, Reese Hartle, and Staffney each had 4. But 6 steals for Reese Hartle. Out of the 12, she literally had 50% of the Jaguar steals here tonight, as they had 12. They had 3 in the second half, 9 in the first. They had 16 total team fouls, 7 in the first half, 9 here in the second half. So Hinckley-Finlayson does fall here tonight, 74-47. It was a tough one, but Hinckley-Finlayson, they wrap up their season this week all on the road. So still some opportunities for them to get back into the win column before the season does come to an end. They are now fall to 12-12, on the season. So even at 500 right now at 12-12. But again, they finish up with 2 road games on Thursday and Friday. The first one's at Rush City, the other one at Walker Hackensack Akeley. So one more conference game for them, and that could push them to 500 on the year at 6-6 in the conference if they win against Rush City on Thursday. And that Walker Hackensack Akeley game will wrap it up for their regular season on Friday. Coming up for WCMP, KBEK, all those broadcasts, and for WCMP, we'll be back here tomorrow. Yeah, we'll have another Jaguar game on the airwaves tomorrow, right on this very same station, 100.9, as the boys team will host Rush City here tomorrow night. We'll also have boys hockey over on 106.5 FM, Pine City versus Mora. That'll wrap up their seasons. Then on Thursday, we'll have girls basketball on 106.5 with Pine City hosting Ogilvie. Then on Friday, we have a doubleheader, if I could speak, on our 106.5 FM station with Pine City girls hosting Chisago Lakes, and then the Pine City boys will host Spectrum. But again, for Hinckley-Finlayson girls, they wrap it up Thursday, Friday, a game at Rush City on Thursday, and a game at Walker Hackensack Akeley on Friday to wrap up their regular season. Then that's it. That is it for their regular season. Then they wait about a week and a half, 2 weeks for playoffs, which start March 2nd for them. And more than likely, they will be the 10 seed, and they will take on... Oh, great, now I forgot. They will take on, as we get a look here at Section 7 AA, Mesabi East is who they will more than likely take on. I would say it's anyone between Rock Ridge, Mesabi East, and Piers is who they will face in that first round. So an away game for them in the first round of the playoffs. But again, a chance to end the season over 500 with their 2 final games of the regular season. On the road at Rush City Thursday and at Walker Hackensack Akeley on Friday. I want to thank all of you for tuning in here tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. Again, if you don't listen, then we don't really have a reason to come out here and do these games. So thanks so much for tuning in here tonight. I want to thank all of our fine sponsors who also sponsored this broadcast. Thanks so much to them, because if it weren't for them, well, then we can't come out here and broadcast these games. So thanks so much to all of our fine sponsors for sponsoring not only this broadcast, but each and every one. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, of course, maybe you were listening on 100.9, but if you're watching it on YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you're notified anytime that we go live with a local sporting event. If you're on YouTube right now, look at it, go to that red subscribe button, and just hit it. That way you will be notified anytime that we go live with a local sporting event. So if you hit that subscribe button, anytime that this YouTube station goes live with a local sporting event, you will get a notification on your phone. Again, thanks so much for tuning in. Of course, stay tuned to the morning shows on both WCMP and KBEK for your local sports updates. On KBEK, 95.5 FM with Rock and Robin Riley at 7:30 and 8:30. And then over on this station, 100.9 FM with Joshua Miron at 7:45 and 8:45. Those are the times that you can catch your local sports updates. We'll talk about local sports, some regional, but we'll keep it mainly with local sports. We'll talk about this game and other games around the local listening area as well, especially now when we're getting close to playoffs. We'll keep you updated as much as we can with playoff seedings, but those will be still a couple of weeks away. For hockey, though, I think we'll see them on Wednesday. Thursday is when we'll see the hockey standings come out for playoffs, so stay tuned for that. as well. Once again, the final here in this one, Hinckley-Finlayson falls to Swanville 74-47. Thanks to all you for tuning in. Thanks to all the fine sponsors. Remember, be kind to everyone. You never know what someone is going through, and your kindness could truly make their day. The final one more time on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Hinckley-Finlayson falls to Swanville 74-47. For WCMP, I am Ethan Game Day Gilman. Thanks so much and have a great rest of your night.